Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3. So it's always a couple of seconds before everything clicks, and I'm going to just take a quick second to make sure that the live is coming on inside the Facebook group. Okay, we are live. So hello, hello, hello. We have done it. We're on the final count here, today's training. This is our day 3. We've been going strong. So hello and welcome again. So today the training is, we're going to be talking about why your body still experiences the past pain and how to heal it. Who's ready for that? Okay. So welcome back. You guys showed up huge. It shows me that you are ready for something different. It shows a level of your commitment. I'm actually blown away. I got some DMs. As I said, the nature of this work is quite sensitive. So many people feel more comfortable sharing privately than in the group, but I'm keeping their name sheltered. So I just wanted to read it out to you, their DMs. So one person, I've spent so long holding it all together that I didn't even realize I was still in survival mode. Your first 2 trainings made something shift in me. I actually had to pause and sit with it. It hit that deep. You named patterns I have never had words for. It's like I finally understand why I feel so exhausted, even when everything in my life looks fine. This feels like the beginning of something real. I'm sure many of you can resonate with that. So this is not the first time I've heard anything like that. These are the constant reiteration, that I get from the people that I work with, because this is the nature of the work. I have spent years doing the work, therapy, books, workshops, but I've still felt stuck. And after your trainings, I finally understand why. You connected the dots between my emotional exhaustion and the patterns I thought were just my personality. I feel hopeful and like I'm not crazy for wanting more than just coping. It explains so much why I overfunction, why I can't rest, why I don't trust my own instincts. You put words to something I have carried my whole life. I finally feel seen. Amen to that. Who can relate? So where have we been so far? So this is a little recap of the things that we have learned. We learned that your organism is an intelligent, wise system. You feel exactly as you should, so you're not broken. We learned how mindset alone can keep you spiraling in the old grooves. We understood how to recognize your patterns of thinking, feeling, and being, and what disrupts the pattern. We understood the energy behind the patterns and how to free the energy. We're going to dive more into this today. So if you have not watched training 1 and 2, I just want to remind you that the trainings will be in the group till Sunday only. After that, they will be gone. So you want to, the weekend is coming, so you want to make sure that you catch up to the trainings. So today's training I'm especially excited about because this is a deep dive into places that most people ignore. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road. This is where transformation takes place. Many of us do healing in our head. We talk about it, we read about it, but nothing changes. So the whole point of my work is that I want to see people transform. So they're no longer talking about the past, but they are too busy creating the future that they desire. So this work isn't easy, right? in life, we have to pick our easy or we have to pick our hard. But to remain in the status quo, to remain stuck is much harder than doing the work. We are rewiring new neural pathways into our brain. We're unlearning generational behavior and patterns, conditioning, and programming. We're healing the parts of ourselves that we have abandoned and lost somewhere in the journey of life. So we have to choose our heart. But this hard, doing the hard work, is temporary. The ease is long lasting once you have done the work. So today, I've been talking about this program, the opportunity. So today is the day where I'm going to share this opportunity for you to dive into the deep work and change your status quo and lead you through the inner shifts that create real change. So just briefly, we're not going to rehash this. I'd like to just give a little introduction in case there are new people who are watching me for the first time. You already know that I come from a lineage of Ayurvedic doctors and healers. That was my intention, was to become a doctor. So I have an undergrad in biochemistry, but it didn't hold the appeal. And then I detoured and became a CPA instead as a means to make a living. I'm a very detailed oriented person. So anything that's detailed, I'm in. I can't help it. And then a chance yoga class, the universe looking for me. I found a class, and long story short, I started teaching yoga. I had a home studio for 20 years and I specialize in yoga therapy. So as a seeker on the path, I was searching for more, and then Ayurveda caught up to me and found me. So I have served thousands of people from all walks of life. Having a studio for 20 years, you get everyone. I've taught in the high school. I've created a program in the General Motors, and I created an accredited yoga program for the hospital staff. I've been a writer for a local newspaper, and I have published 2 books. Here's a picture of my yoga studio, the one I found easily to share with you. And so these are all the trainings and experiences and certifications and whatnot, the formal education. But what really counts for me, what makes me an incredible leader to do this type of work, is my lived experiences. I am the lab, and it's really like I am the lab. I know this. I smile about it. I expect it because it happens every single time. I come from a large family, so I have seen a lot of family dynamics, dramas, and traumas. I've lost my parents. I've experienced divorce. And my nature is such that this type of work is built into me. I tend to look at the bigger picture and find solutions. In high school, I remember any time when there were, kids at that age were fighting, they would call me to resolve, and I would be just very logical and calm about it. It's just something that comes to me naturally. And so even I was I was in the healing modalities. I was practicing Ayurveda. I had an office. I had a studio. But when it came to this one time in my life, my struggle with my teenage son, I was hitting the wall. I didn't know what the heck was the problem. I was running in this pattern of me chasing and him running further away. It was very painful. I can tell you endless stories. But that pain was a catalyst in me trying to find the answers. So the layer that I found was this whole energetic, somatic layer. After 1 year of deep dive into this work, I was able to breathe easy. I finally had the answers. I understood deeply, and I started teaching this work, created my first podcast, published my second book. And this book is the companion and guide inside the program. This offers like a healing framework that's detailed in this book. So as I was again, things come to me when right at the nick of time. So I'm again finalizing this training for you last night, and this piece that came up, which I felt is really important to include, that I hadn't planned on doing this before, I didn't know about it. So the part that I want to shed light on, that we have to know the states that we are in any point or in any challenge in our life, and the impact that it's having in our experiences. Because confusion creates more confusion. Clarity gives us our power back and gives us the momentum or the tools, if you will, to take an action that propels us forward. So that's why I'm including this. So the three states that you are in, one is the confusion. This is where a lot of people, they don't know a different way of being. Disease is normalized. They don't know what's possible, but they're also very confused. They're drained, they're demotivated or depressed. They kind of live in this state. Then when they begin to think, no, there's got to be more, something else is possible, I just want to check that it is recording. Then when they get a little inkling of that, I got to change this, they start gathering pieces of information, tricks and tools, workshops and whatnot. So they gain a lot of knowledge, but that leaves them overwhelmed because they can't sort their way through, they can't discern through the information that they have gathered. Life doesn't change because you know so much, right? It just means you know so much, but that leaves people overwhelmed. So that's the state many people are in, overwhelmed. This is actually a condition now, you are overwhelmed because they have too many options, too many choices, too much information that they don't have the foundation to understand that information. Then comes, well, I'm going to try, the quote on air quotes, I'm going to try this. I'm not a fan of that word try. I don't know what that means. Either you're doing it or you're not. What do you mean by trying? So they begin to dabble. They take a little yoga class there, they do EMDR, they do a little modality here, chakra healing, and all kind of different modalities, and in them by themselves, there's nothing wrong with them, but they don't give you the real solutions. So when we are dabbling, actually, the state that we are in, which I should put that here instead of dabbling, but the state that we are in, we're not believing. Remember in training one, we talked about, are you a true believer in yourself? That's a reality check. And I, said most people are not until we realize that we actually don't believe. So what would it take for you to believe? We're actually not believing. So the real solutions, even when they're in front of you, you miss them. What you end up doing instead, a little shiny, little thing here or little thing there. And you wonder why you're not feeling any better. So the reason why this was important for me to share with you, because so many of you are stuck in survival, you're surviving. And these are the states you are in. As long as you stay stuck in these states, you stay stuck in survival. You're just surviving. The final state, which is going to kick you out of the survival state into the real living or a creator state, is a decision mode, right? It's a decision state. You make a decision you choose one path forward because you believe. So remember I talked about yesterday that healing is not about wide, it's not how quickly, but it's about how deep. So I wanted to put it even more clearly. So I wrote healing is inch wide, a foot deep. Healing is about deeper work. It's not about being on the surface and trying many, many things. It's about finding your path and going deep inside it. So that's why when you talk about trying, you're actually not going deep enough. That's why people don't heal. You do one thing and you're like, oh, I didn't like it, this part, I didn't feel anything, but you're not sticking it out. And you go run to different things. You're running, you're hovering on the surface, you're getting nowhere. So in the decision state, we don't talk about starting. Oh, I'm going to begin. I see people, they tell me that, yeah, I'm going to begin when this happens. I'm going to start here when that happens. I never hear from them because the target that they are waiting to see is a moving target. When they get to that place, then there's something else that comes in their way. They don't understand that it's not the thing that's creating the delay in their decision. It's actually they're not deciding because they really don't, they're not committed, they're not making the choice, but they keep deferring. They stay in the indecision mode, they continue to hurt. Longer we wait, chronic our pain, our anguish becomes. Remember the opportunity cost of the missed time. Life on this planet is finite. We don't have forever, right? So we can't be wasting time when we know we can experience better. So we don't talk about starting. You become the one who starts. When you choose, the universe literally rearranges itself to support the future you just claimed. We talked about choice yesterday. I gave you a couple of examples, my example and my client Ritu's example. This is when you are living, not just surviving, because you have decided. Are you avoiding decision? Because decision means commitment. Commitment scares us, but actually that's the only thing that will resolve the anguish, the pain that you are feeling. Your psyche, your body knowing that it's going to be healing, it already begins to relax that, oh, thank God I have a solution for this. So are you avoiding decision? The magic formula is to just begin. So why do we continue to stay stuck in survival? So like I talked about in the prior two trainings, that there is a cycle of thoughts and emotion, that pattern that continues to run. So just to give you a little, even another layer of understanding on that, is your thoughts generate electromagnetic waves. They're not nothing. Your feelings create chemical signatures. Together, they form your energetic identity or signature. Are the thoughts even yours? Remember, I talked about energy is contagious, but it doesn't matter. If you are running the thoughts, they become yours. So without knowing, you take on other people's thoughts and energy because you are not attuned in to energy and how to protect it and how to channel it. Each time you get triggered, you run down the same patterns. You fall into the groove, the old groove. So this groove is not BS. It's neural pathway, the old pathway that is now built into the nervous system. So if your thoughts are of survival, you'll continue to create more survival. Longer you stay in indecision, you will fall into the old groove of thoughts and emotions. Thoughts like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I want. You're creating the same old when you're thinking that. Most people, they try to heal without changing their energy. They try to heal in the head. Thinking will produce more of the same. You can think 1,000 thoughts and not get any clarity. Clarity comes in action. Same action will bring same results. You can keep dabbling. It'll take a really long time to feel different. How long do you have? When you change your energy, when you heal at the root, it collapses time. This made me laugh as I wrote that because as an entrepreneur, I know about the shiny object syndrome. It's like, maybe I need more training. Maybe I need to get another certification. Maybe I need to get other modality. Like you learn, right? So I call it the shiny object syndrome. Many different modalities like chakra healing, goat yoga or whatever not, they're available. I have no opinion on that. I have no judgment on them in by itself. There's something about everything. It can be fun, right? You may feel a little different, but for how long? Nothing on the outside is going to create a lasting change. The only person, the only thing that is going to create a lasting change is you changing your inner world, you doing the work. If you don't make a choice to be new, you create the same reality. When you change your electromagnetic field by clearing the old energy, it draws in matching experiences. The universe is a mirror. If your vibration says, your inner experience says life sucks, the universe says you are correct. Here are some examples to reaffirm that life actually does suck. So, again, this story, I had no idea I was going to share it. This came to my mind. Healing is such a deep word. At the same time, healing is used kind of as a marketing gimmick as well. So it's a word that I think that I wanted to explain a little bit through this client story. Few years ago, long time ago, pre-COVID, I was in my office in Michigan and I had a client schedule an appointment. I didn't know her. I scheduled the appointment. She comes in. So as I start talking to her, she tells me that she is now diagnosed with terminal illness and she literally has few days left to live. She was in shock, in panic, distraught because she had children, husband, a family. She didn't know what to do. Somebody told her that she needed to come see me. She had no idea what I did. She did not know why she needed to come see me. But she knew something about Ayurvedic Healing Center. Somebody said, you need to go see Meena. I only had one session with her. It was a privilege. She felt healed. Now what happened? Did I heal her terminal illness? Of course not. Did I stop her death? No. But she left with peace in her heart and mind. She came to terms with it. However I said it, whatever I said, whatever deeper insight or light that I shone on her tragedy. And I knew that she passed a few days after. She was healed. So that's healing. Healing is very deep. It is not what you think it is. Healing does not mean you get everything you want. Healing means you come to terms with, you are at peace with what you have. It's about your experience. It's not about what you have. So let's talk about where the negative thoughts and emotional patterns come from. Early childhood trauma. So when I see adults, 99%, if not 100%, there's early childhood trauma. The truth is, I yet have to see a person who has not had trauma. Even the best intending parents leave their handprints on their children. Even when everything looked okay, we really don't know the child's experience. So every trauma is not, this big tragic trauma or ends up in physical signs. So much trauma is much deeper. So some examples that came to my mind that I've shared here with you, there's parental neglect, not because of ill intention, because they don't know any better. Remember, an abusive parent has been an abused child. They're shaped by a narcissistic parent. From a narcissistic parent to a narcissistic spouse or any other narcissistic dynamic. So we take other people's opinions as children below the age 12, we take them as facts. Ego blames the self, fueled by the quote unquote broken culture that we talked about in training 1. So here is the, coupled with that conditioning and programming, which I think I talk about in the next slide. So I see a lot of this in my practice, and I have a personal experience. I first learned about narcissism and what it was during my short marriage. And it's not a coincidence that I get so much work in that area. So all of these early childhood experiences, where do they go? Pleasant experiences are felt in the body. Your birthday celebration, they leave us resolved and satisfied. They're in the body. Your body feels good. Unpleasant, painful, traumatic experiences are also felt in the body. They are unresolved. They leave us in shock, confusion, fear, and insecurity. We push them away because we simply don't know what to do with them. We don't know anything else. But we don't actually push them away. We push them deeper into our psyche, into our subconscious. Where is the subconscious? The body. Body is the terrain of the subconscious mind. So remember, the goal was to free the pain instead of freedom from the pain. But we don't know that. We actually seek freedom from the pain instead of freeing the pain. And in an effort to do so, we continuously suppress, which erupts in fear, anxiety, panic attacks, nightmares. No amount of medication will resolve. Medication actually works like a depressant, and it pushes it even deeper down, creating even bigger pressure. So the fear turns into panic attacks. They turn into nightmares, or people have a nervous breakdown. So every time we talk about it or think about it, we fall back into the old cycle of thought, emotion, and remain stuck. Body keeps the score. Body does not forget. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. So the experiences is the energy seeking resolution. When no resolution and no guidance is provided, it just gets stuck. It just sits in the body, waiting for you to tell it what to do. Pain is stuck energy. Trauma is not a memory. It's in the body. Mind is the body. Body is the mind. It's in the nervous system. Remember, mind is energy. Energy has intelligence and information. The intelligence and information in your body is not just biochemical, it's energetic. So we must heal the energetic imprints in the body. Amount of time passed does not matter. That's why we remain in continuous state of alarm. We are expecting the same danger, waiting for the other shoe to drop, trying to get ahead of the threat that no longer exists. But the body doesn't know that. So this is the deeper work of healing that I do with you inside. So the energetic system, I talk about the central nervous system. This is a picture of the central nervous system, which runs from your root all the way to the sacrum, all the way to the cranial, to the bottom to the top. These points that you see, they are the intersection, energetic intersections called chakras. The medical world looks at them as glands. They don't look at the energetics of it. All of our painful experiences, they remain stuck below the heart, giving rise to pain, insecurity, fear, jealousy, resentment, shame, blame, guilt. And we keep circling here. The whole 3D world is operating from anything below the heart. Because the chakras act as gears, one thing affects the other. The love that they have, they cannot feel. They cannot find the wisdom. They cannot feel the clear seeing, or they feel disconnected. But when we heal the energy from the lower 3 chakras, we're able to experience the love, the wisdom. We can use our own intuition and knowing as a guiding system, and we feel connected to ourselves. We feel connected to the source, and we feel connected to this whole universe. This is the deeper work that happens inside. So inside, one of the frameworks that I use in my program is called the 6A Healing Framework. This is very deep. The 6A's are awareness, acknowledgement, acceptance, application, appreciation, anchoring in love. But I just want to go back. I just got reminded of something I wanted to share. Healing is moving from here to there. But after we have cleared, after we feel rooted, grounded, after we feel we are in charge of our emotions, after we feel worthy enough, this is the path of healing. We rise up. When we rise up, we see a clearer picture. We increase our vibration and our frequency. When we are hanging higher in this realm, you're just not subjected to any of the dramas that happen in the 3D world. So this is ascension. Healing is ascension. This is transformation. Okay. So this is the 6A healing framework. For example, it's not like, oh yeah, I'm aware, acknowledge, acceptance. It's just so quick, check, check, check. It's messy. It's intricate. It's involved. For example, if I come, even moving from awareness to acknowledgement, there's so much resistance, denial. Moving from acknowledgement to acceptance, there's pain, anger, resentment. Forgiveness needs to happen. Heart opening needs to happen. It's very bitter, sweet work. And this work is like gears, like the chakras. It's not like we're done here and we never be here. It just keeps looping, keeps intricating, keeps getting involved, connecting to every other thing. We're always in one or the other aspect of it because there's so much to human psyche. So this is a very deep, integrated, can become complex, but that's my work to keep it clear for you. That's my specialty, to make things clear, to lead you with clarity and direction. So for a moment, let's go ahead and look at the bigger picture. Talking about the bigger picture when we are ascending, let's just kind of zoom out. Take a deep breath. What happens if you become the one who just starts? What's possible when you commit? Life becomes easy. So for a few seconds, if you can, please close your eyes. Imagine you are meeting the future you. Tune into her energy, her image, her being, her sense of herself. Notice them. Notice this future version of you. What is she or he wearing? I'm just talking in more feminine. Notice the energy with which she walks. Does she walk with confidence? Does she walk with pride? Does she walk with a smile on her face? Notice the energy in her world. Is her energy same as yours or is it different? What does she know? What actions has she already taken? Feel her in your cells, in your nervous system. Feel her in your heart. Notice the difference. Walk up to her. She wants to tell you something. Lean in and let her. She wants to tell you how grateful she is for the choices you are making now. Future you is you now. You are here. She gets to benefit from who you are today. You did that. You are the future you. Now sit here and beam that energy into the field. Beam the energy of future you into the field. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. If you could feel her, that future version of you, then you already know she didn't get there by staying in survival. She didn't get there by dabbling in healing. She made one powerful decision to heal deeply. She made a different kind of choice. That's what I'm inviting you into. So this is your moment. If you've carried the invisible weight of a narcissistic parent or been torn apart by a narcissistic dynamic, if you've lived for years walking on emotional eggshells, if you have mastered functioning but secretly feel like you are unraveling inside, it's time to change that story. I've created the root healing method to guide women like you who are sensitive, brilliant, done with the surface work women through a proven path of emotional and energetic healing. It's not to manage your symptoms, but to heal them at the root. Inside this 6-month journey, you will begin to rewire the patterns that kept you looping in pain. Release childhood imprints from your nervous system. Reclaim your power, peace, and the clarity that was always yours. Lead yourself with ease, not because life is perfect, but because you are whole. Inside this journey, you will begin to trust yourself again after years of second guessing. Feel emotionally grounded no matter what's happening around you. Let go of survival patterns rooted in childhood pain. Move through life with clarity, confidence, and inner peace. Doors open tonight. Only 10 spots are available at the beta price. And once they're gone, they're gone. So watch for the email, and when you feel it's your time, don't hesitate. The version of you you've been waiting for is already waiting for you. So my next email will be sent out at 7 p.m. tonight. It will share all the details. Keep an eye on your inbox. But I do want to give you a quick heads up, and it's not bullshit. So tonight the doors open, and the very first opportunity is extremely limited. The first 10 people will join at the lowest beta price you will ever see. After the 10 spots are gone, I will open 5 more, but with a 30% increase in price. After those 5 are gone, I'll open the last 5 and add another 30%. So today, when you see the link, that's going to be your moment to move fast, trust your knowing, claim your spot before the next level. Just my friendly advice. So we are here at the end of our training, 3-day training, and I have really thoroughly enjoyed teaching you. I hope that you have too. So I do love to ask you if you would please share. As you can see, some of the feedbacks that I got as DM, I'm sure they resonated with many of you. So it's really helpful for everyone. And would you share with me what resonated most with you today? So you can comment below the video with your biggest takeaway. Did this affect you? I will be grateful. Your feedback is truly a gift. I thank you and I adore you. So check your inbox tonight and I'll see you. I'll see you in this group, but I'll see you on the inside. Thank you again. I'm so grateful. Bye for now.